Inflation has continued the trend of cooling off from July, and we are still expecting to see a rate cut by the Fed. That's going to come at its September meeting. And while inflation is moving in the right direction, retail sales kept the mortgage bond market from improving much this week. We got CPI, that's inflation that consumers feel, and it was a bit disappointing, really mainly held up by the cost of shelter as well as car insurance that came in higher than expected. And again, inflation's been coming down, and actually if you annualize the last 3 months, core inflation, which strips out food and energy, we're actually already under the Fed's 2% target. We also got PPI, that's wholesale inflation, and it came in better than expected, which is good news because those savings are sometimes passed on to consumers. And like I mentioned, retail sales was a bit of a gut punch this week. It came in stronger than expected, hurting the mortgage bond market. And strong consumer spending is not great for mortgage rates because it basically, shows strength in the economy, which is a reason that the Fed's held off on rate cuts. But there is plenty of weakness out there, though. We got more delinquencies on credit cards and auto loans since we've seen back in 2011. Again, the National Association of Realtors changes are going to go into effect tomorrow. So we've prepared a video and training on how to get the buyer-broker agreement signed to ensure buyer agents are paid, even when the seller won't cover the commission. And we've got a strategy for doing that through the structure of the financing. The Fed meeting and the start of the Jackson Hole Symposium next week is going to be the main things that I'll really have news from next week. But as of right now, the market is pricing in a 0.25% rate cut in September, and we've got a 50-50 shot of a 0.75 to 1% in total cuts by the end of the year. Again, next week, we'll get the minutes from the last Fed meeting and speeches from the Jackson Hole Symposium, and both of these should kind of give us clues into what the Fed's going to do next. But overall, nothing on the calendar that's going to move rates tremendously. So have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next Friday. If you do want a link to see how to pay your commission as the buyer's agent, please shoot me a DM.